Here are some folk horror movies that I really liked, coming from somebody who is historically not a folk horror fan. First, we have The Devil's Bath. This movie was so downright devastating, I watched it back to back. Which sounds weird, but I literally watched it and then the next day I was just so in awe of it, I watched it again. This movie is just so bleak and genuinely upsetting, especially when you understand that it was based on actual historical events. Very vague description. It's about this woman who is just not happy with her husband and her marriage, and she takes what she believes to be the only way out. Next is the original Wicker Man, not the remake. That is a fucking joke. But the original Wicker Man, I think, is the folk horror movie to end all folk horror movies. The way the mystery unravels, the dread, the tension, the ending. This movie is perfect. It's a 10 out of 10. I'm also biased towards anything with Sir Christopher Lee in it. Like, I automatically love it because of him. He's an icon. The Damned. This one is about this remote fishing village in the 19th century. They're struggling for food, and one day a boat crashes nearby, and they don't help them because they can't feed them. And this one ends up getting into Nordic folklore, which is something that I've personally never seen done before, so I think it was really unique and really cool. This is another one where the ending is just really bleak and kind of devastating. You Are Not My Mother. This one is about this girl whose mother goes missing and she shows up a few days later, but she's not the same. I like this one because the concept of a mimic or somebody like standing in for somebody that you know freaks me the fuck out automatically. There are some moments in this movie that were genuinely freaky. The Severed Son. This is a movie that I watched at Fantastic Fest last year and it finally came out on Shudder recently. I went into this one expecting not to like it, but did really enjoy it because on top of being a folk horror movie, it's really a good for her horror movie. The Dark Song. This one is about this grieving mother who lost her child, and she basically gives her all to this guy who she hires to help her speak to him again through this ritual. And it just spirals out of control. I do think the imagery at this one at the end is a little bit silly, but overall, I really enjoyed it. The Surrender. I saw this one at South by Southwest this year and it recently just hit Shudder. And this was one of my favorite movies of the festival. Like, it actually made me super emotional. This one is about this woman who loses her husband and she gets this guy to come in and do this ritual so she can get him back. And their daughter is kind of caught in the middle of it. And I think this one is a really beautiful depiction of grief and loss. And I think that theme is really being overdone these days, but I think this one did it in a fresh, new way. Finally, I have Kill List. This one is about this guy who is a hitman and he gets this really strange assignment. This is one that just doesn't make sense until the end when it all comes together, and the end is actually so devastating.